Alright guys, I'm going to do a quick video on how to import sound using Adobe Animate. I'm going to do a separate one using Premiere Pro. But before moving on, I'm using somebody's work right here. If you have any of these like grayed out parts, if it was done intentionally to give a break, a certain amount of break, then that's fine to leave in there. But if it was just you meaning to delete a portion, then you would select all of this stuff, right click, and you would do remove frames. Okay. Again, if you wanted that dead space in there for a reason, timing purposes, that's totally fine. I do want about every scene to be about a second long unless you're trying to convey motion, but like these, I would just go in there, make a second long, and then this one maybe would hit 25. So something like that to give us a better understanding of what we're looking at. Cool. And with sound, you would need 2 layers. If you're doing it in Animate, possibly more, but let's say I name this one my Animatic, and I'm locking this. I'm going to create a new layer on top for sound. There's a couple websites that you can use, and I'll list them, show you here. If you go to Student Resources, License Free Music Sound Effects, you can use some of these in here, and I'll add more if I can. Here's one example, freesound.com or .org. The last scene is them celebrating, so we can listen to a couple of these by just, let's say graduation. You're gonna have to use a lot of, okay, so let's say you like this one, you'll click on the link, you hit download, and with Animate, this is my downloads here, right? I would want to move it to my USB. You would just open a new Finder. Finder in Mac is that little face at the bottom of your dock. But I'm just gonna transfer this over here. So cool. And with this, you just drag and drop. Ooh, I lied. We actually have to make keyframes before we drag and drop. But this is the scene where everybody's celebrating, right? I could even place it here. So I'd come here, hit F6 to make a keyframe, and then maybe I want it to end here. It's up to you. Let's say I want it before the celebration. So I have 2 keyframes here. I'm somewhere in between here. You drag and drop the sound into the actual stage, and you'll see something pop up here, but I actually wanted to take up the whole thing, so I probably shouldn't have added that. Let's see now. There we go. So add your first scene, and then you can probably cut it. Your first keyframe, I mean. So that's basically it. Let's say, is this a door opening? If I recall correctly, this was something about running into 2 dogs and one of them getting bit. So I'd come back here. Okay, whatever. Let's say it's this one. Okay. Dogs barking. Move this to my USB. Close this. Open Animate. And the dogs probably start around, I guess, here. So F6 for keyframe, come back here. And let's say I wanted to end. Oh, actually there's dogs for a while. Okay, F6 to end it. Yeah, so you'll go around there. Properties for sound effects are also here. You can add some effects. You go to frame, effect. Let's say it's a fade in. Come over to the end. Do custom to do a fade in and a fade out, but there's very limited things you can do in Animate with sound, but that's basically it. Do you have to add sound to everything? No, you can have an ambiance sound, maybe music to go with it. For music, it would be different websites, but I'll be sure to list them on here too. But once you're done adding sound effects, you could even add voiceover if you wanted to record yourself and then import you talking about the film as it goes along. You could do that. But to export, you'll go to File, Export, Export Video and Media. Make sure all of this stays the same, right? And in the output, you'll click on this folder. Make sure you have your USB selected. You're going to rename this to your last name, so it'd be first name initial underscore Animatic. And then you're going to hit save. Export video media encoder is going to pop up. Should pop up here. You'll see this little bar kind of going. It's going to go much slower in our computers. But once it's done, you'll get a little check mark. You'll even get an alert in Animate that it has been successfully created. You can open it by clicking this link here, double clicking it to play, and then you'll submit this file to our final. Okay, so if you want more control over your sound, go over to the Premiere Pro tutorial and I'll show you how to use that.